Let's grow something spectacular together. Send me your info to info@cmpradio.net. We're looking for content creators, videographers, everything, man. Let's grow something special right here. Homegrown. Chester, Pennsylvania. Let's go. Let's get it down, man. It's your boy Uncle Pete reminding you, man. cmpradio.net. Cultivating mature positivity.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Mental Health Talk with yours truly. I am Christina McIntyre. Sorry for the delay, but I'm here as usual, and I hope that y'all had the best week that y'all could have. And I know the weather outside for the last couple of days haven't been that great. Sometimes it affects our mood, but just to let you know, take time to relax, take time to reflect, take time to enjoy and appreciate everything that you have. I read this book daily, and it gives me affirmations and things to follow. And today was talking about, gratitude and appreciation and how we don't take enough time to show our appreciation for what we have. And it could be minor. Like if we get up every day and we're breathing, we can see, we can use our limbs, we can walk, there's air outside for us to breathe, we watch things to grow, we have a car to drive or a way to get around. We have to take time to appreciate those. They seem like little things, but there are major things. That's how we receive more blessings. So each day, try to sit back and reflect upon a day. Don't be upset about things that you could have did better yesterday. Focus on the now. This is all we have control over, and don't worry about the future because it hasn't happened yet. So make sure you're utilizing your time wisely. You're doing things to help you grow and become the best person that you can be for yourself. And just enjoy every moment because we're not guaranteed tomorrow. So let's just, do what we can with the time that we have right now. So with saying that, I want to give a shout out to my sponsor first, Flawless Tires. You can find them at 1195 Chester Pike. Make sure you go check them out so that you can get your car right back on the road. My websites are www.becomeyourc.com. Make sure you go visit that and check it out and subscribe. I share a lot of good content about our mental, our emotional, our physical, and our spiritual aspects of ourselves. I want people to heal on the inside so they can manifest the reality that they choose to, so they can, live their truth for themselves, unveil their true identity. I have items on there for sale as well, chocolate bracelets and necklaces to help you on your spiritual journey. I believe in order to heal on the outside, we must begin to heal on the inside, and that's the whole main purpose of that website. I also have an Instagram, Become Your C. I share a lot of different things on there as well, mostly poetry, and then on my Facebook page, I kind of changed it up a bit so that people would have an easier time finding it. It's capital BYC, and then it's a space become, and then space space C. Or you can always message me at Christina McIntyre on Facebook. Make sure you download the Live 365 app. Search cmpradio.net to listen weekly, Sundays at 12 p.m. Wednesdays and Fridays at 2 p.m. You can listen online or on your phone. And then follow CMP Radio on Facebook so you can tune in to not just this show, but there are a lot of different other shows that may interest you. Definitely go out and support your community. So this week, I wanted to talk about mental health and nutrition. A lot of times we don't think about what we put into our body and how it affects us. But nutrition definitely plays a part in a lot of different things. What we eat is what we are, what we think, and how we feel, and how we behave. If you look at the correlation between nutrition, nutrition, depending on how we consume things, what we consume affects our bodies, right? It can create a lot of different things. Like if you consume too much sugar, too much carbohydrates, you might find yourself with diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol. Certain foods cause cancer. um, I've read somewhere that we're born with a certain amount of cancer cells already, and what we put into our body can add to them. And some people wind up going on to developing different types of cancer. So we want to eliminate those as much as possible. We can't control hereditary illnesses, right? Sometimes illnesses are passed down from generation to generation, but we can reverse and we can prevent some of them. We have the power to heal ourselves. I definitely believe that, but we have to watch what we put into our body as much as we watch. We have to watch what we hear and watch what we say and watch what we see. Definitely, nutrition is one of those things, depending on how you were raised, of what's important to eat. A lot of times, people, if you live in a neighborhood that access to healthy foods is limited, you're going to eat what's around you, right? And some communities, the only things that's around is quick and easy things, and so that's what you're used to. So you grow up eating these things, and you don't know any different, right? A vegetable may be far in between. The only time you may consume it if it's then mixed in with something else. Even fruits. I think fruits are more accessible than vegetables sometimes, but even those, like I know people that rarely eat fruits and vegetables, and those are things that we need to help our digestive system. If we're not digesting things properly, when we hold on to stuff, it creates a lot of things like, you can have irritable bowel syndrome. You can get bloated a lot just by the things that we consume. So pay attention to what you consume. Yeah, access may be limited, but there are still things that you can do in order to have access to them. You may have to go outside of your neighborhood, right? A lot of stores in certain neighborhoods do have healthy foods. I think we just so conditioned that we choose the unhealthier option sometimes because it's quicker, right? I fall short sometimes. I try to eat the most healthiest I can, especially to combat my mental health. But lately, the last couple of weeks, I've been falling off, and I see that it's affecting my health. I had a conversation with my brother, like, the older that we get, our metabolism, our metabolism slows down, and so we have to, try to take control back of our health. And so I made a effort to myself that I'm going to get back on track because I want to make sure that I'm feeling right. I noticed when I'm eating 100% healthy, I feel overall better. My mental, I have more clarity. I'm able to control my emotions better. And for me, my son, he suffers from ADHD, and so we're trying to figure out a way to, in order to get him back on track, a little behavior issues. And so one of those things I suggested was diet. I know diet is closely related to a lot of mental health issues. And so we have to make a plan of what we can do and how we can go about dealing with this, right? So a lot of people may not uh, correlate mental health and what we eat, but you have to think about it, right? So sugar is one of those things that I recently found out that is closely related to anxiety and panic attacks. And I don't know why I didn't know this, but it's definitely good. The information is out there if you want to read it. And so when we consume too much sugar, our sugar can raise up. We can be hyperglycemic or hypoglycemic. And so for me, um, I try to eliminate sugar. Not that I don't consume it, but when I noticed, you get that high from sugar, right? Sugar is an instant high. And you crave for it. The more that you eat, the more you crave for it. And when you don't have it, you feel like an addict, right? You can get migraines. You can go through withdrawals from not having access to sugar. And so what sugar does is it triggers panic and anxiety. It's like you need to have it. And so you're having these symptoms that resemble like if you're hypoglycemic, it can resemble diabetes, right? When I first got diagnosed with panic and anxiety from my therapist, she told me, I urge you to go get checked out. She told me to go to the doctor to get an overall a health check, right, a physical, to make sure I didn't have diabetes, because panic and anxiety can resemble those same symptoms. No, I was just hypoglycemic, which means when I don't eat enough, my sugar level drops, and so I need to eat, and that can trigger panic and anxiety. And it happens too often. Sometimes I'm busy. We get busy. We don't worry about, we need to eat. We need to get done what we need to get done. And so we put our health on the back burner, but then all these problems will arise. So pay attention to what you're putting into your body. Make sure that our sugar that we put into our body comes from, nature, like fruits. Honey is a good source of an additive that we can add to things. It takes time to get used to certain things, right? Eliminating sugar out your diet can be tricky, especially if you're used to consuming sugar. Sugar comes from a lot of different things. Soda is one of those things. A lot of people drink a lot of their calories every day, and soda is one of those corporates. Even those fruit juices that say that are good, like apple juice and stuff like that, you definitely have to read labels and pay attention to that. They add a lot of different things, like corn syrup is one of those highly addictive sugars that it's been around for a while, but I've noticed since I was a teenager versus now, they add it to everything. They're even added in to meats, certain like beef jerkies and stuff like that. So definitely pay attention to those things. Certain ingredients will trigger things and can cause mental health illnesses as well. Also, let's see, candies, cakes, all these things that taste good to us, that it's okay in moderation, but overall, if you find yourself craving sugar when you get up, or you need it to get yourself through the day, pay attention to what you're putting into your body. Even coffees and those energy drinks, right? We need it, right? We have to wake up, we got to do a lot of different things, so we go to grab the quickest thing that can pep us up, but not knowing that a lot of sugar, after a while, what does it do? We crash from consuming too much. So pay attention. There are things that we can do to help, right? If you take water, if you infuse it with what I do is sometimes I take water and I fuse it with blueberries and strawberries. You add lemon and lime, pineapple. Pineapple is good for your skin, right? Some apple cider vinegar, some honey. I shake it up in a bottle. I'll put it in the fridge. If I am consistent with that over a few days, I'll get a burst of energy, not from external things. So it's certain things that we can do that can help. It does take time to get used to it, right? I've been on this healthy journey for going on 8 years, and I still haven't got a, the best hold of it yet, but I'm working. It takes time, right? So break off things little by little. If you know that you are consuming, or you drink soda every day, try to drink it every other day. If you drink like a 2 liter, try going to a 20 ounce. Do things in small increments. That way you can it can be a prolonged thing, right? After a while, you'll get used to this new habit. And so I used to drink soda a lot, and it's been 6 years since I eliminated it because I found that it wasn't tasting the same. So I decided to just get rid of it from my diet. I have a problem with sugar sometimes, right? I like chocolate, and dark chocolate can be good for you, and moderation, but I seem to go overboard. And a lot of us do go overboard, but we don't pay attention to how it is affecting us on the inside, right? Too much sugar can cause diabetes, right? We're causing our own issues. Yes, mental health illness is real. Sometimes, it can be hereditary. Sometimes it is what it is. But we can control certain things that we can do. We can make it better, right? We can eliminate some of those symptoms by what we put into our body. If you are if you're addicted to food, and some people can be addicted to food, right? Like taking it away can be like a death sentence to them. There are people out there that can help you. There are dietitians that can give you a plan. There are nutritionists that can help you and put you on the way, but you got to be willing to do the work behind it, right? Like I said, don't try to change everything overnight. If you try to do everything at once, you're going to crash and you're going to go right back to the old habit. Eliminate things a little at a time, and then overall, you'll get better. Water is the main thing that we should be consuming because we're made up of mostly water anyway. Water flushes out toxins. Water empowers us. It's a meditation that I started doing. You basically speak life into the water that you drink. It seems a little crazy. It's all about what you believe, right? But water definitely is something that we need every day, and a lot of us don't drink enough of it, right? A lot of us have stomach issues because we're not consuming enough water. Water pushes out those toxins and stuff, and like the foods that we eat also, not just sugar, but fried foods. Fried foods are not good. Fried foods can cause high blood pressure and cholesterol if you consuming it every day. Over time, it weakens our heart. We can have heart attacks and strokes from what we put into our bodies. So just watch it. I know sometimes it's just easier to just to grab, but make a plan, making like a little plan with yourself. Start packing your food. You may have to do a little work, more work in the meantime, but overall, think about it like this: you could be saving yourself money too. I started packing my food so that I didn't eat out as much because I found that the way that I eat, a lot of places didn't have what I wanted. And so I chose maybe the worst thing, like fries. One of those things, I watched a video about nutrition, right? Fries, a lot of places add sugar to it because it kind of helps bind, the salt and the ingredients and stuff. And I had no idea. So it's hidden ingredients in a lot of foods that we are consuming, and they don't tell us about it. And you won't know unless you do research. So watch what you put into your mouth. Um, we are what we eat, right? Not only just mentally, like what we eat affects us physically too, right? A lot of us trying to, get healthy or lose weight for, our own benefit, but we're not paying attention to what we eat. We're just reaching for the quick thing. And definitely this healthy eating, it does take time to get used to. Like I said, you have to start small, right? There are good things. A lot of people was like, oh, I don't want to eat healthy, it tastes nasty. No, if you know what you're doing, if you know how to cook, unhealthy things, you can learn how to whip up some healthy meals and stuff like that. It just takes some prepping. After a while you get used to it. You can put things together. Like it's not rocket science. Like if you're used to eating pork, right? I know a lot of people like pork, but try to eat leaner things like turkey, right? They have turkey sausage in the morning, turkey bacon instead of the regular thing. You can swap out, if you like oatmeal, or even if you eat cereal, try to find the best cereal. I know a lot of people may not like brand cereal, but that's good. You chop up some bananas, throw it in there. Almond milk, right? S Almond milk is better for you than regular milk only because there are a lot of things that come with regular milk, and it's a lot of some diseases that can come with regular milk. A lot of us that consume regular milk are lactose intolerant. They said about 75% of African Americans and Asians are lactose intolerant. We're not supposed to consume milk past, infancy, but we do. I mean, it tastes good. I used to drink it all the time until I swapped it out for almond milk. It does take some getting used to. Yeah, it's not the same, right? Almond milk and regular milk don't taste the same, but it's better for you and it has more nutrition for you. Um, they they urge people to consume a lot of the meats that we eat to affect our body, right? So a lot of red meats, it takes a while to digest. So try swapping out for you know fish, and fish is a good brain food, right? Fish offer a lot of omegas and omega threes, and what omegas do, it helps our brain activity, right? And so when our brain is functioning properly, it makes us feel better, right? Mental illness is all in the brain, and so if we're feeding our brain, we're going to feel better, right? And when we feel better, we feel more empowered to do those things that, you know, we enjoy doing. We get more motivated. We have more energy to do them. And so when we feed our body these things, we are not stuck in the pattern of depression, the pattern of anxiety, pattern, excuse me, of other ones as well. Eating a proper diet can eliminate some of the schizophrenic symptoms as well. I talked about a little bit about ADHD. There has been a link between, you know, fatty foods and high sugar foods and ADHD. They did a study that they eliminated sugar from ADHD kids' diet and found that it was an overall improvement in their behavior patterns. So if you have a child or you even adults have a it's adult ADHD. If you try this, right, do a little study on yourself, right? Start eliminating certain things and paying attention to how you feel. Journal things, and you'll find most of the time what we're consuming is affecting how we feel. Like if you eat too much, you get tired right away. I used to sit there and consume large cheese sticks by myself, and afterwards I would decide to take a nap. Right? You know, sometimes even cheese can be good for you, but in small amounts. If you consume large amounts, what happens? Your stomach doesn't feel too good. You don't feel good. So pay attention to what we're putting into our bodies. Quick fixes aren't always the best option, right? We always look for a quick fix for anything. And a lot of times, the quick fixes are only a momentary thing, right? We're trying to have longevity. And in order to do that, we have to change how we go about doing things. Your diet is definitely directly related to how you feel. Um, just try to choose the best things that you can, you know, right? Don't go out and buy a whole bunch of healthy stuff because that's what someone told you. You know, write down a list of things that you like, right? Start small and then slowly introduce yourself to a different variety of foods, right? There are good foods out there. I found out about a couple different fruits I had no idea existed, right? We are so limited to what we choose to consume that we don't know what tastes good to us. So try something different. This week, when you're out there and you're food shopping, try to buy healthier things, right? It does take time, especially if you live in a household that everybody is not on the same bandwagon as you. Try to slowly introduce stuff, right? If your family is used to eating beef, sneak in some ground turkey. I mean, it might be hard, but if you know how to season, if you know what you're doing, you can definitely cook some great meals by swapping out some things. It all comes down to how you want to live overall, right? Living with mental illness is it's a struggle on a day-to-day basis, right? You know, some things we can control, some things we can't. But we can't control what we put into our body, right? We have to watch what we listen. I mean, excuse me. We have to watch what we listen to and what we are watching as well. So why not watch what we're putting into our body? Also, caffeine. I talked briefly about that. Caffeine is a bad trigger for panic and anxiety. I know firsthand. I used to drink um, those iced lattes every day, sometimes twice a day, and it didn't. I didn't realize it until I got to the point where I was having panic attacks all day, and it scared me, and I had to stop. Even though sometimes, man, I need that, fix. But is it worth it? You gotta ask yourself if is it worth going through this on a day-to-day basis. And even alcohol, a lot of us don't really connect alcohol with mental health issues, but if you think about what alcohol does, right? Alcohol turns into sugar, and when sugar breaks down into our body, it can trigger panic and anxiety. I know red wine is one of those things that tell us that it is good for us. It's good for our blood. But if you suffer from panic and anxiety, it can actually be a trigger. I love red wine, especially the sweet red wine. But I noticed over time, the day after I will drink it, I didn't feel my best. And so what I have to do is I got to eliminate those things. And it you feel like you're taking something away because I sat down there and I went through a list of things that I cannot have, and I'm just like, man, what is left out there? But over time, you'll get used to it. Anything that you change momentarily, it'll feel like you're out of place, right? But you'll get used to things after a while. You gotta ask yourself what kind of life that you want to live. Do you want to live the best life that you can? and that requires change. Change does not feel great at first, right? It gets some getting used to. You might have to like sometimes not be around the same people if you realize that they're just trying to keep you where you at, right? Oh, it's okay, you can eat this. It's okay, you can have this drink. No, you know that you're trying to live your best life that you can, and dealing with mental health issues on a day-to-day basis, it can be tiresome, it can be exhausting, and so you're trying to find ways to combat that the best way that you can. There is therapy out there, there is medication, but you can't always look at the quick fix. We have to control what we're doing with our life, and not just with mental health, with other things as well. We are we are an example of what we surround ourselves with. So, especially with nutrition, let's try to put into our bodies what we expect. When we eat good, we feel better, right? When we eat like crap, that's how we're gonna feel, and it affects our brain chemistry. So let's empower ourselves with the foods that we eat. Not saying that you have to eliminate it totally, right? We don't want to give it up, because I think sometimes we try to do too much too fast. Like if we give up everything that we enjoy eating, we're just going to revert back to what we're used to. So give yourself a treat, right? Once a week, if you want to have a drink, if you want to have that slice of cake or fried foods, go ahead. But make sure most of the days that you're consuming foods, that's going to empower you. We get empowerment from foods. And just pay attention to what you're eating as well. Um, a lot of times we're just eating to just fulfill instant need. But think about it like this: certain foods that we eat, we could eat a whole bunch of it. It won't do anything right. Like I know I eat cereal. I could probably eat a whole box of cereal and still won't be full. So definitely pay attention to what you're consuming and the labels and stuff and those hidden ingredients. A lot of times those ingredients that they put into food is causing a lot of our mental health issues. So pay attention to that. And then try to fuel your body with good things like salmon is really good, nuts, beans, definitely dark green vegetables, fruits. Pineapple is good for your skin. It keeps it shining. It keeps your muscles tight and stuff. So you want to definitely try to feed your body with good stuff. That's just the base of it. I also want to talk briefly real quick about how nutrition affects our mental health issues as well. I talk a lot about the chakra system, the healing system, and in relation to mental health issues. And then a lot of times, what we eat is affecting our chakras, and it can make it out of balance, right? And so when you suffer from depression, um, it's definitely related to your lower four chakras, your root, your sacral, your solar, and your heart. And so fueling them with the right foods can definitely help your root chakras. Any red foods will definitely empower that. Your sacral chakra, orange foods will definitely empower that. Your solar chakra, which is your third chakra, that's yellow foods and empower that. And your heart chakra is uh, related to green foods. So any of those things definitely in relations to food. So food is affecting every part of ourselves, our mental, our emotional, our physical, and our spiritual. What are we going to do about it? Are we continue to feed ourselves stuff that is going to lower our vibrations, lower our energy, or are we going to empower our own self? We have the power to provide ourselves with the best things out there, and so not why not start? And if it's not going to be today, at least start tomorrow. Write down one thing that you can do this week to improve your nutrition, so that you can have a better all over physical, emotional, spiritual, and definitely mental health. Like I want us to live the best life possible, and the only way to do that is to pay attention to what we're putting into our body. We are reflection of what we allow into ourselves. I want to thank y'all for tuning in this Sunday. And I just encourage you to just live the best life you can, right? I'm not saying get rid of things right away. I'm not saying just stop things altogether. I'm just saying just pay attention to what we surround ourselves with, and then what we allow to enter into our bodies. We want to provide ourselves with the best things that can enhance our life and not just take away from it. Again, give a shout out to my sponsor, Flawless Tires, 1195 Chester Pike. Make sure you stop by there and pay them a visit. Also, visit my website, www.becomeyourc.com, and I talk briefly about all this different stuff. Follow me on Instagram, Become Your C. Also, my new Facebook page, BYC, Become Your C. And then, or Christina McIntyre. If you're interested about having a conversation about anything I discussed or about mental health in general, you can always message me. I'm always open to share my advice and share my journey with you as well, because it is a journey. It's an everyday journey, and we're going to fight every day because we want to live the best life that we can. And then I want y'all to enjoy the rest of y'all day. Remember, just because it's raining outside doesn't mean that it has to stop your grind, stop your shine. Relax for a little bit, but continue to move forward in your life. Until next time.